Did you know that the total numbers of Americans living with a rare disease is estimated around 25 to 30 million? According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention website, last updated in 2019, Guillain-Barré syndrome is a rare disease that slowly eliminates the myelin sheath along your nerves, causing it to be damaged. This condition can easily be mistaken for the common flu, which many can develop, but GBS can lead to full paralysis and death. My stepmom was recently diagnosed with this disease, and so it holds a really close place in my heart. GBS has several signs and symptoms, treatments, and long-term effects that we should all be aware of so we can prevent it from happening. Now that I have briefly introduced you to GBS, I will talk more about the signs and symptoms. It has many severe signs and symptoms that few know about today, and it can easily be triggered by an acute or viral infection. However, the exact cause is unknown. According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention website, last updated in 2019, people with GBS usually experience weakness or tingling sensations in both legs many times leading up to the upper arms. According to the Mayo Clinic website, last updated in 2020, half or more severe patients with Guillain-Barré experience tingling and weakness in the face leading to full paralysis. And there are various more signs and symptoms. The CDC website also states that most commonly people experience pins and needle sensations in toes, fingers, ankles, or wrists, and difficulty swallowing, chewing, or performing other motor functions. The Mayo Clinic also says that other symptoms include rapid heart rate, lower high blood pressure, difficulty breathing, or difficulty walking or by using basic hand movements. Now that we know more about the symptoms, let's talk about the treatments. According to the National Organization for Rare Disorders, last updated in 2017, because of the risks of breathing failure and heart instability, people with GBS need to be on board with pulse and breathing monitoring because they have very trouble performing the basic motor functions that all of our bodies perform. And it's a very fragile disease, and the treatments are very highly recommended. It is also potentially life-threatening, and treatments may make a huge impact even though there is no known cure. The national organization also states that people may need to be put on breathing or feeding tubes, and they will also receive painkillers. And there are very different therapies that you can also get for this disease. You may receive plasmapheresis. According to the Johns Hopkins website, last updated in 2019, it is a procedure that removes the plasma and replaces it with other fluids. Antibodies are also removed, which helps reduce the symptoms, which is very important because those who have it are deeply suffering from not being able to move their hands, not being able to breathe fully or swallow fully. The Johns Hopkins website also says that you may receive immunotherapy that is used to decrease the immune system attack on the nervous system. That's very important because you don't want the immune system to start attacking your nerves and all of that, which is happening with Guillain-Barré. As you know now, there are various treatments. However, long-term effects may still be existent. People with GBS may recover fully or might have to live with their symptoms for the rest of their life. It can be resolved a few months of treatments, but may still spend their life suffering. The Mayo Clinic website says many people have long-term effects. These may be numbness in the toes, fingers, or long-term balance and weakness problems. Also, according to the National Institute of Neurological Disorders and Stroke, about 30% of patients are still weak after a few years of the illness, and 3% have symptoms reappear years later. This means that if you get rid of the disease, it may usually come back, according to whatever you get. Living with GBS requires support from family and other medical services as well. The National Institute states that those with GBS face emotionally painful periods as well, which makes it very difficult to adjust to sudden paralysis and have to depend on others for help with daily activities. My stepmom has to depend on the family to help her walk up and walk down the stairs, has to help her move her hands correctly, has to cut things for her because she can't move her hands correctly. And the National Organization for Rare Disorders says access to facilities with rehabilitative and intensive care are also critical to have at hand. That way you get your breathing monitored at all times. And GBS has various symptoms that can become life-threatening. Treatments are limited, however, they can reduce symptoms or result in a full recovery. Unfortunately, those who do not full recover will have to live with the emotional and physical effects that GBS has on everyone. GBS is a rare disease, however, the simplest things can trigger it, such as getting the flu or getting a cold or any other type of infection. And might affect someone you know and love, and so it is important to know about GBS so we can help those who suffer from it. It can happen to anyone at any time, and it is vital that we know about it.